Do you not remember?
My name is Harry, I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is October 30th, 2023. It is 1:25 a.m. It took me a while to put a list together, and I took yesterday off completely, just relax, and now I'm sort of back. 3,438 subscribers, new subscribers welcome. Estimate revenue $315.37. At one point, I remember reading that the estimate revenue was close to 350, and it back down to 315. All right, analytics, same numbers here, $315.37, and the last 48 hours 3,028 views, and there's the subscriptions. All right, subscribers 3,438. So let's go on Twitter. This will be the first tweet. I just put that on the list. And this is what I have here. This one, the first one, this is this video that we have here. See, I just highlight this. That's the first video I will have. And then I have some stuff regarding Prince Harry, regarding the ByLine investigate about the recent article that ByLine had put. Okay, and I have some tweets regarding William, Maureen, the royal rat, and some other things, South Africa, Meghan as already royal, and some videos regarding protesting. Yeah, some of them are videos, and maybe 2 or 3 of them are just regular tweets. And I'm not gonna go too deep into them. I will just show just the text and whatever. I'll try not to go too deep into them. Okay, so let's start with this. This is the first tweet. Okay, mind you, this, pointing down to this video, debate was before the revelation from ByLine time. Despite all the media attacks, folks know exactly what's going on. Okay, so it's a minute and almost 2 minutes, a minute and 59 seconds. Let's listen to this. There'll be some screenshots. Okay,
I feel like the royal family is naturally moving into a very, very different era with the passing of the Queen. I think people who, you know, maybe weren't sort of diehard royalists had a sort of affection for the Queen and a respect for the Queen, because she, whatever you thought of her, she was this unique figure in history. She was this golden thread that went across all these decades of change from Winston Churchill.
And not only that, many of the people who are alive now, born with the Queen, so they had that figurehead, knowing that she was always there. So now that she's gone, so that kind of respect or whatever that was there probably go along after the Queen died. Okay, so let's continue.
Fortunately to Liz Truss, obviously, but you know, she'd seen a lot. You know, she was a very, very unique figure. I think that has changed now with her going. And I think that the spell has slightly been broken with the royal family. I agree with a lot of the points you make, but I don't think this country is up for a revolution. I don't think people are going to be like off with their heads, let's get rid of the royal family. But what I think will happen is probably the most damning thing, which is growing indifference. I think we have a changing country. The demographics of this country are changing, much more multicultural. Younger people don't have that deference for the...
But guess what? The Tories already learned that. They did their part. Okay, and they are working toward it still because of the multicultural. When there is multicultural, people tend to understand other people's kind of feelings and understanding and all of that. So they're making sure to keep the darker skin out of the country. Okay, so they saw that. That's one thing. When you look at the GOP and the US, the Tories and the UK, and probably some other parts of the world that has that same type of mindset, because these people, they get along very well, the GOPs, the Tories, and some parts of Europe, EU that has the same kind of mentality, they see those kind of things. So when they start seeing the multicultural is growing, they put a stop to it really quickly. And at the same time, this is the problem, which one of Ireland, I believe it was Ireland, a politician in Ireland, said in one of the speech, and I have the video on this channel, where he said what's going on with the Middle East. This to make Palestinians safe in their homeland is a way to prevent refugees. Right? But what happened with many of these, the Tories, the GOPs, and whatever type of mentality in the EU that have the same mentality, what they do is that they love to instigate. They go in those countries to create chaos. And then those people, when their homeland is not safe, what do? They have to move someplace that is safe. The same thing you would and I will do when there's something going on in your homeland that's not safe. You will move to another place. And then what they do is that they don't let them in. Okay, they're creating chaos. The same thing. I have a screenshot where I believe it was soldiers, soldiers from the UK was putting fire in some villages in Kenya. And I remember the very first time I saw that particular tweet, I took a screenshot of it and I said, this is what's creating refugees. Can people live in a fire? No. They need a place that is safe without any kind of disturbance in their homeland. So they're creating chaos in those people's homeland, and those people are trying to get to safety, and then when they get to safety, they shut the door on them. One thing that happened, I don't think I have that screenshot, is that there were some refugees who, I don't know which part of the world that they were coming from, but they were in the middle of the ocean. What is it? Between France and the UK. They did not want to take these people in. I think what happened to that boat, it sunk. Either they sunk it or something happened. Okay, so when our government is sending those soldiers places, what are they doing? For what reason? Okay, so I went too long with this. Let's continue.
Royal family that, you know, even my generation or my parents' generation did. And I think the royal family have not helped themselves, particularly with how they have behaved. Just look at how they treated Meghan Markle, for example. That was an opportunity for the royal family to reinvent itself, to modernise itself, to bring somebody in from the outside, a woman of colour, and look how she was treated, not just by the press, but actually by members of the royal family and by senior advisors in the palace. That incident really cast shame over the royal family and cast a bit of a stain over this country. So I think the royal family is going to have a bit of an existential crisis going forward, because you don't need to have a huge revolution. I just think people gradually will just think, I'm not that interested.
Yeah, there it is. She's hit the nail on the head. Okay, exactly. They all know what was going on. They just never thought the truth will eventually be exposed. I don't know. The royal family keeps on banging its head on the wall and expect different solution. They should have known a lot of their BS they've been doing throughout their existence. It still come out. I don't know why they can't do the right thing. And Harry had warned them. Harry had warned them to take advantage of this opportunity, but they didn't. Instead, they went on the bashing, and he had to leave and take his family to safety. So, and I remember on PYTE, I was saying, what they doing here, in terms of the hating and all of the negativity that they're doing, and I said it's making people angry. Humanity will always prevail in some shape or form. There will be a lot of casualties a lot of casualty within the process, but eventually humanity would prevail. But when humanity prevail, that's because humanity stand with compassion, understanding, love, and all of that. So where are they gonna go? But right now, the entire corner of the world is in shaky ground. The entire world is in shaky ground. So right now, if they have to leave the UK, where are they going to go? Where? I don't know. Okay, and I even said they should take a cue on Prince Philip's situation, because I have a video where I think I call it history of something, and I have a picture of Prince Philip as a baby or toddler or something like that. So I think it was in that video where I first mentioned that. Where are the royal family gonna go if they're behaving like this? Most likely in the US right now, I will assume, but I don't know. But anyway, let's continue. Let me read some of the comments here. This is an ad. Okay, exactly. Okay, I read this. Oh, really? Wow, she's spot on. The apathy is real and growing. Too many old people in the royal family working and ruling the roots. They are not willing to change, yet the outside world is changing. What is it? Princess Anne said, Charles have been in the position as a intern, kind of. She didn't say it like that. I have the clip. I'll put it. He has been an intern for that long, so you should know what you're gonna get. He's not gonna change. Nothing will change.
As we're in this moment of transition, I think it's not unnatural that people are having conversations about the monarchy and the place of the monarchy in various countries, Canada included. And some of the recent polling is suggesting that there is a drop in the percentage of people who would like to see the monarchy continue. How do you deal with that as a family?
Well, we don't, in many respects, need to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Not least of all because it is the monarch that is the key to this, and the constitution that underpins the monarchy. We as a family see ourselves there as to support that role. What we do, we hope, contributes to the monarchy and the way in which it can convey continuity of not just interest but of service, of understanding the way that people and communities want to live their lives. And I think so often we get the chance to see communities and the people who do things really well and are very generous with their time in a way that, if you look at the media, you tend not to get that impression.
Are there conversations about relevance?
There will be everywhere. It's not a conversation that I would necessarily have. I think it's perfectly true that it is a moment when you need to have that discussion. But I would just underline that the monarchy provides, with the Constitution, a degree of long-term stability that is actually quite hard to come by any other way.
Mm. And when we think about this duty, this role that the king has taken on, what kind of king do you think he'll be?
Well, you know what you're getting because he's been practicing for a bit. And I don't think he'll change. He is committed to his own level of service. That will remain true.
They told us, so don't expect anything different. Okay, Meghan will have been so good. Her life experiences, her humanitarian aid, her work with the UN and more. The hierarchy saw her as a threat. I don't know what. That's because they're not doing anything. It's that facade that they put, the false facade that they taking millions from the taxpayers to help charities. Okay, there's Meghan who came I call it a few minutes. You guys know more than I do. It's like what? Not even a year, 18, maybe a year plus. She did that amount of work, more than what William in particular. And and the other one, the wife. So they saw that as a threat because there's a moment she came in, she did all that work, the cookbook, the smart work, and some other things she did probably without anybody's noticing. But she revealed the royal family, and the royal family want to pretend. That's all. Okay, the hierarchy saw her as a threat. And this is the same thing that Princess Diana was doing, and they saw her as a threat. Look what they did to her. We could actually assume they did something to Princess Diana because they're doing the same thing again with Harry.
The TMZ Live, Harvey Levin here.
Charles here.
So Meghan and Harry had quite the night. It started out very glamorous with a lot of acclaim. Meghan got an award, and it was a very glitzy event. We'll get into that in a minute. But the headline turns out not to be what happened at the event, it's what happened after.
Right. As their spokesperson describes it, and as we have confirmed with independent sources, that there was a harrowing, in fact, they say near catastrophic 2-hour chase around New York City, paparazzi chasing them. And it all started right here. This is around 10 p.m. as they left the Ziegfeld Theater and they got into their SUV. Well, what happened once they got in that SUV is a chase that at times got up to speeds of 80 miles per hour. And I know you may be thinking, where in New York City are you going to drive 80 miles per hour?
That would be the FDR.
The FDR Drive on the east side of Manhattan. They were doing 80, trying to shake photographers who were chasing them.
And they were right on their tail.
Yeah, and they had, this was not just Harry and Meghan in their single SUV. They actually had an entourage that, it's clear that they anticipated some of this.
Clearly, they were in an SUV. There were 2 security SUVs that were tailing them, and then there was a 4th SUV that eventually was used to try and block traffic to thwart the paparazzi that were following them.
Right.
Now, they say that pedestrians were almost hit, cars were almost hit, a couple of police officers almost
were involved,
hit.
right?
So I know this sounds crazy, but we have confirmed, like Charles said, that this really did last 2 hours. So there were times when they went to various police stations trying to get some help.
Trying to get help or trying to shake
cover.
the paparazzi. So the video we're about to show you, this is them almost an hour and a half after leaving the theater. They've been in this chase. They've been on the FDR going 80 miles per hour. And now they've gone back to a police precinct and they get into a yellow cab. They get out of their SUV. They get into a yellow cab.
And it's to shake the paparazzi. They're figuring nobody would think they'd get in the yellow cab. So they get in at the police station and drive away. And they're thinking, we're going to shake the paparazzi.
But
that did not
clearly,
happen.
you can see the paparazzi knew they were there. That's their security guard who
We could actually assume they did something to Princess Diana because they're doing the same thing again with Harry.
Aaron, it's interesting to hear Sonny say that he's transported celebrities before, but he's never seen anything like this.
It's just, I think it's really hard for us in the US to understand the scale of the interest that still exists in the UK for them. Once we, in the month of February, Meghan made no public appearances, and we kind of, as a journalistic exercise, decided to count the number of stories that the Daily Mail ran on her. Never spotted in public at any point in time more than 100 stories. And some of them were just like, they're just things that happened, like something from her blog from 2014 that was repeated 4 times. And it's just, at a certain point, they understand now that they can't really get rid of that interest, but I think that they're trying to do their hardest to, I think that they've been using shame tactics, they've been using legal tactics to try to discourage some of this. And so I think that that's why this became public in the first place, is because people started running those photos and they were thinking, okay, we don't want them to be running these photos. We don't want the people who are making our lives miserable last night to make the money off of it. And after sharing the story, the Daily Mail and the Express took those photos down.
See, Richard, even when they lay low.
Do you not remember?
But with our prayers, and thank God they're still alive, because you see the same pattern of behavior. They, again, like Princess Diana's, Princess Anne said, okay, you know what you're getting, so they will never change.
Well, you know what you're getting because he's been practicing for a bit. And I don't think he'll change. He is committed to his own level of service. That will remain true.
Okay, so this is the same thing. 100%, and the royal family has nothing with which to counter this public indifference. They have neither the charisma to draw enthusiasm nor imagination to reinvent themselves for a younger and multicultural population. Hence, too, their rage at the two who got away who might have saved them. That's it. Okay, no lies detected, and difference will also help open a lot of eyes too. Very well said, very true. No one is interesting anymore for them. If Meghan and Harry still on, oh yes, the world will be more appreciated and interesting to watch because of the young couple full of energy, but jealousy behavior for Kate and William didn't want family to succeed. You know what? I think Meghan is done. They done. I don't know about Harry. I do not know. But for one thing, for sure, Meghan is done. Because you can, for the amount of nonsense they put her through, how the hell will she feel at ease around these people? You won't even be able to eat around there. If they look what happened to Archie's freaking bedroom in South Africa. Okay? And you have those idiots who's willing to carry out those things for the royal family. Of all places, the baby's bedroom. Fire with the heater. If some of you then don't know about that, it's somewhere on one of my channels. Okay? So if they could do that to a baby, can you just imagine? And this is one of the reasons Meghan did not say it, by the way, and the Oprah interview. It was later on, you know, I think maybe last year or something, maybe, it came out that while they were on tour in South Africa, there was a fire in baby Archie's room. Okay? They continued their things as if nothing happened, but deep inside, there was worry in their mind. So, how could Meghan feel safe to be over there? And this is why she said in the Oprah interview that, what did she say again? A lot have been lost. Okay, not only she had a miscarriage, and she didn't say what that the royal family doesn't care about her and Archie. That was before little Beth was born.
Very clear, the protection of me or Archie is not a priority. I accept that. That is fine. Please keep my husband safe. I see the death threats. I see the racist propaganda. Please keep him safe. Please don't pull his security and announce to the world when he and we are most vulnerable. And they said it's just not possible.
On several occasions.
We had teams investigating it. People have been prosecuted for those threats.
I lost my mother to this this self-manufactured rabidness, and obviously I'm determined not to lose the mother to my children to the same thing. And when I said in the mental health series many months ago that they won't stop until she's dead, that was I guess more of a warning, not a challenge.
So she already know they don't care about her. Why would she put herself in a situation like that? Okay, after this, but that's it. Almost always the truth teller or women, she's a badass for speaking 100%. Well said, a must watch. I said no more. Revisionist history, Queen Elizabeth II is fascinating, but yes, the first speaker is right. Okay, I didn't hear, I don't know what the others said. It would have been nice to hear the entire thing. The spell is breaking, if not broken, because people have a better handle on history and are a bit more media literate and savvy. Okay, so let's go to the next tweet. Yeah, this is why they, I would say, hijack mainstream media. They hijack mainstream media, including in the US. A lot of the things that you're hearing now is just that individuals take it upon themselves to share what they know. Like, for instance, when you're hearing things that's happening with Trump, okay, you have lawyers who create YouTube channels to explain step by step what's going on in the court, because mainstream media is not explaining these things to people, and they want people to go vote blindly. Okay, so by listening to some of these individual professionals with law degrees who've been practicing, they take it upon themselves to create YouTube channels to tell you the truth, to let you know what they understand of the process that is going on, so people could understand what really happening. But mainstream medias have already been hijacked. Okay, what I think sort of happened is a different branch here. I think whoever owned those things, whoever is responsible in terms of showing what we see, okay, they probably framed them in some shape or form and said, if you blind the people, okay, in other words, just blind the people, or else we're gonna show this or that. This is what I think happened with them. And meanwhile, if they were really true with democracy, because if it wasn't for democracy, the position that they have, they will not have it, because many of these millionaires and billionaires, their parents wasn't rich. Okay, the opportunity of democracy allowed them to earn money and be able to afford what they have now, but instead they're being selfish. I don't know, if that was me, I would think about it and say, I don't give a fuck, and take the humiliation and move on. I don't know. Knock on wood, I don't get to this point, but my goodness. But anyway, we only have one life to live. We're not going to live forever, but whatever. But those old people are so easily, with a heartbeat, they will send your kids to war to take care of their business for them. But they will not send their kids. As a matter of fact, there's a tweet that I came across. Oh my God, it's probably buried somewhere on my timeline somewhere. Is that, what's his name? Netanyahu? Okay. He has his soldiers fighting in the Middle East for him, doing those unethical things. So many things going. There's so many videos I have. I don't know if I'm going to share them. Let me show you. All right. There they are here. War. These are all of these. Okay. Many of these I decided not to share, or I'm thinking about it. I'm still thinking about them. Okay. I keep on adding and adding. This one I think I shared. That's the Arnold thing. I put it on here again just to, if I decided to make the video regarding what's happening in the Middle East, to put the Arnold video in it too. But what I was going to say is that the president or prime minister, what do you call him, of Israel, okay, he's sending those young people to do those unethical things, fill their mind with stupidity, and then they're behaving like a freaking maniac, like the Holocaust never happened. Meanwhile, his son is vacationing in Florida. Okay, showing his son, I think his son, I don't know how old is his son, but he's at fighting age. He should have sent his son over there. He knows the cost of war, but your kids can do that for them, but his kids is not worthy for that. Okay, just think about that. All right, so next tweet. All right, before I lose where I'm at here, Prince Harry cut off, so that's where I'm at. Okay, Prince Harry cut off from royal after naming aide and legal papers. All right, so this is Daily Beast. That's a US, I think it's US, right? US based thing. Independent, intelligent, influential, send tips. Okay, so that's, I don't know if it's in the US, whatever, but it came on my timeline. It's making wave, another word, it's reporting of what the byline had said. Okay, so they're starting to pick it up around the world. Okay, how terrible is Charles putting the Sun over his son. Okay, the Sun, that's the newspaper, over his son, that's Harry. Okay, how cool King Charles and William Parker Bowles have to be to put this baby's life in harm's way by removing his security to protect Christian Jones. Not only that, what happened in New York, the chase
around New York City, paparazzi chasing them, and it all started right here. This is around 10 p.m. as they left the Ziegfeld Theater and they got into their SUV. Well, what happened once they got in that SUV is a chase that at times got up to speeds of 80 miles per hour. And I know you may be thinking, where in New York City are you going to drive 80 miles per hour?
That would be the FDR.
The FDR Drive on the east side of Manhattan. They were doing 80, trying to shake photographers who were chasing them.
So people starting to understand them now. Okay, so there's that. Harry refused to take Prince William aide Christian Jones off the court records. Christian Jones is then Wootton's friend. Alright, so there's that. And the other thing too, again, I'm going back to Johnny Depp case with, I believe it was the son. Martin Brenning, what's his name? Dan Wootton was on the court document too. And I've said in other videos, Johnny Depp lawyers have done a magnificent job. They proved their case, but he lost anyway. Why? Martin Brenning was in it. What does he have on those people? All this should open people's eyes. What did he have on the judge? Because from what I've saw and what I've seen, Johnny Depp won the case. All right. So this is where he's saying the royal family are the one who's leaking to the press. Let's listen to it.
Actually address the fact that much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press.
Okay, so there's that. Let me read what's there and then move on. Okay, whatever is here. Okay, Her Palace Leak will topple the monarchy. The word unworthy is weak to describe you, Charles. You and your hateful racist journalists and your mafia family. The unworthy word will stick with you until the end. Screw the money. The important revelation. That's what I said. Screw the money. We only have a few moments on this earth to do whatever God had sent us to do. But people take money over everything. They think money is as if money is like air and water, this kind of thing. Now, because of things, how society, how human have turned things, yes, you need money to in terms of exchange. But if you are a good person and stuff like that, you'll find people who'll be able to feed you and give you water at your most lowest. Okay, screw the money. The important revelation is that the King and William have decided to sacrifice the lives of Harry, Meghan, and their baby. They've signed a 12-month contract with the press to endanger them in every way possible. This is important, okay? Senior members of the family wanted them back after the transition period and were ready to continue playing dirty to make this happen. They never thought the trial period would work and try everything to make it fair, starting with the removal of security and then signing off on a 12-month assault by the UK press on Harry and Meghan and everyone in their orbit. I'm telling you, the institution never really have their mind to think logically, to think humbly, to think somewhat humane. What if they just, instead of doing all of this, that's the pretense. This is the way they have always operated. This is their blueprint. They do, either they send people in front of them and then they stay in the back maneuvering the people like a freaking puppet. Why couldn't they just be straightforward with Harry and Meghan and say, we want you back. Come and work with us. Well, whatever. But instead, they did what they did. Stay behind, pretend they're not part of it. Meanwhile, everyone they hire, listen to them and do what they say. And like that video that I just showed you with Martin Brenning, then Wootton, that most of the negative is coming from the royal family. The royal family are the one who's leaking to the press. And there's other reporters in the UK. I won't even call them reporters, those royal rats, who even said that the royal family is behind all of this, so it's not a secret.
And remember, the purpose of the PR office at the royal family is to keep the royals in the press all the time. So you have to remember, when I work in newsrooms, it's a fact that every anti-Harry and Meghan story comes from Kensington Palace.
But why haven't...
And if it comes from Kensington Palace,
right,
why are they briefing against their own grandson?
Well, okay, that's a very... The idea...
Why are there never any...
Well, I think that's fascinating.
...about Prince William?
Were William and Kate involved in briefing against them originally? I don't know. That's a good point. But having...
Okay, Harry and Meghan were expendable, but the heirs and their wives were not. God will say something different. As far as the institution of the monarchy went, the Sussexes had either to be safely in the tent in Britain or cast away and castigated as comprehensively as possible in order to reduce the threat. They're the one who's creating the threat. They're the one who's creating the threat. These people, they always have to somewhat pretend they didn't hear anything. They have to create their nonsense. Well, let's just say it's not the royal rats who's reporting on this. There's other people who's reporting on it. So it's not just Harry's word. As a matter of fact, what ByLine have said pretty much confirm what Harry have said in his book. Okay, with family like that, who needs enemies? King Tampon is cool and dangerous, who endangered the lives of his son, daughter-in-law, and 6-month-old grandson. Yeah, people should start questioning about Princess Diana's death. Even though they keep on saying, oh, she didn't wear a seatbelt, she didn't do that. Did they show pictures? Did they show any of that? Okay, instead they were too busy taking pictures. So where are those pictures that they were taking? Alright, so they just give you a word of salad and then you're supposed to take it as face value. Alright, next tweet. And then saying that the driver was drunk and all of this, please. And I've said a driver who knows is gonna be driving such important person, you think he'll be drinking before that? I don't think so. We need to think logically. This is the blueprint of the institution. They could say whatever they want, but their behavior have been consistent. All right, that can never overwrite anything else.
I think Diana bitterly regretted the divorce.
By the December of that year, as you say, you'd agreed to a legal separation. What were your feelings at the time?
Deep, deep, profound sadness. So we had struggled to keep it going, but obviously we both run out of steam. And in a way, I suppose it could have been a relief for us both that we'd finally made our minds up. But my husband asked for separation and I supported it.
It was not your idea?
No, not at all. I come from a divorced background and I didn't want to go into that one again.
I think she fought until the last minute to prevent a divorce. She didn't want one. It was awful for the children. I think it still affects them very badly. But I don't think Diana wanted it at any stage.
The final chapter of the royal marriage lasted from June 1996 to August.
The princess this evening, Diana knowing that her estranged husband has now made his divorce offer. That offer was put together here at the Royal Solicitors Farrers, ending a 10-week deadlock over the divorce negotiations. A letter was delivered by hand tonight to Diana's solicitors, spelling out what the prince's side hopes will be seen as generous terms. It seems clear that Charles is offering some £15 million, hoping this will seem generous, encouraging a speedy settlement. The Queen could be at the centre of one sticking point, however. Her financial help is vital. It seems clear that Charles is offering some £15 million, hoping this will seem generous, encouraging a speedy settlement. The Queen could be at the centre of one sticking point, however. The Queen could be at the centre of one sticking point, however.
No, it's all right.
The Queen could be at the centre of one sticking point, however. Her financial help is vital.
Their action, that is, okay, versus their word. And the other thing that I've said with what happened in Sandringham is that in front of the Queen, everybody was on the same page, all right, to make the Queen believe, yes, they're on the same page. But behind the back of the Queen, they did what they did here. And then they had that, Young, who Charles and Andrew had replaced. Lord Gate or something like that, who was the Queen's secretary for almost probably 10 years or something. They removed him and put Edward Young, and then Edward Young was pretty much were to listen to Charles, okay? But instead, his position was to listen, okay, to be the eye and ears for the Queen. But instead, he was just taking orders from Charles, okay, and for him to lie to the Queen. That's what I think, in my humble opinion. I said it in one of my videos. All right, next tweet. This is ByLine Times. Papers in the US and Europe all covering our Wootton Sussex scoop. Silence from the cowed captive UK press. Okay, so he retweeted this. That's from this person. The investigation carried out by @ByLine Time journalists seem to prove that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were telling the truth when they claim that the royal family was secretly revealing information about them and the tabloid. Okay, so this one I believe is in French. That's in French. You can pause your screen and read it. And I think this is in English. Okay, so there it is here. Oh no, that's in French as well. Okay, pause your screen and read it. And yeah, there's the English version. Okay, Meghan and Harry deemed threatening. An investigation confirmed that the royal family revealed information about them. Okay, so that was 10/27, like 2 days ago. The new scandal and prospect within the British royal family, according to investigation carried out by the independent media ByLine Times, King Charles III, who have stopped the security service of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle for fear of being overshadowed, my God, by their popularity. I swear, this is what's taking him down. He hasn't learned a damn thing yet since Princess Diana. That what, you know, the same thing with Princess Diana, and now with the overshadowed with Meghan. And then he continued doing the same exact thing. He hasn't changed.
And when we think about this duty, this role that the king has taken on, what kind of king do you think he'll be?
Well, you know what you're getting because he's been practicing for a bit. And I don't think he'll change. You know, he is committed of his own level of service. That will remain true.
Okay, a report which confirmed the comments made by Harry and Meghan in their documentary for Netflix. Summary. Okay, an investigation which risks having the effect of a bolt from the blue, published by the independent media ByLine Times. The report, The Explosion of Megxit, How then Wootton and the Cash for Leaks scandal divided the monarchy, risks being a stain on the communication of the British royal family. The investigation carried out by journalists seemed to prove that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were telling the truth when they claimed that the royal family was secretly revealing information about them and the tabloid. My goodness, the same thing as Princess Diana. The campaign.
Do you really believe that a campaign was being waged against you?
Yes, I did, absolutely. Yeah.
Why?
I was a separated wife of the Prince of Wales. I was a problem, full stop. Never happened before. What do we do with her?
Can't we back her off to somewhere quietly rather than campaign against her?
She won't go quietly. That's the problem. I'll fight till the end.
About her, Princess Diana gave us all the hint, all the precursor, what they've been doing to her, and then which is continue repeating on Harry. Okay, so there's that here. I cannot see this. That's an ad. Okay, Eugenic and Beatrice used to lunch with Piers Morgan. Is that you? What was it? The day that was an image of them going to lunch with Piers Morgan. I saw it. I don't know. Some people were saying maybe it was regarding the phone hacking. Maybe there was a deal with them, so they didn't. That was the rumor. I don't have that screenshot of it, but I know what this tweet is talking about. Let's go into that. Hopefully they put it. No, Cruella invited him along with Clarkson to her Christmas party. That's true, that I have, but the one with Eugenie and Beatrice and all that, I also saw it too. The picture. He's a friend of their mother. Doesn't mean any of them leak anything or lie. That the preserve of King Charles III and the Prince of Wales. Prince of Wales. Okay, so there's that. Let's read some more. I really hate how this journalist framed this article like it's too surprising the Sussexes told the truth, as though what we saw, what the daily bombardment they went through while in the UK isn't crazy enough. Okay, Harry's trial has shown that to be true as well. Phone not hacked, leaks from at Kensington Royal and Royal family. Okay, let me go into that. There's 4 comment. Oh. Okay, actually the article is all BS, not a shred of proof of example or sources, just speculation. I mean, they made reference to ByLine. Thank God, that's this person who put it. They made reference to ByLine. So if ByLine is lying of what they're saying, guess what? There's the court. So how come they never... I believe I read one of the articles, ByLine articles, in one of my videos. They sent question to the palace. The palace then respond. So that's the court here. If ByLine is lying, the court system is there. And this investigation, I think it was going on for 3 years. That's what ByLine said. So it didn't just come out of the blue. They've been investigating, and then they have enough information to back their claim, and they put it out now. So all the palace have to do is call them to court. I never hear Martin Brenning, my goodness, why am I calling him Martin Brenning? Then Wootton refute what ByLine have said. And then since then, he has lost his job. They claim it's for something else, that he made fun of that particular journalist, or I don't know if the woman was a journalist, with misogynistic kind of behavior while they were on the air or something like that. That's what they made the public believe. But it's more than that. All right, they wanted a reason other than what ByLine have said, because I'm sure Martin Brenning have information with those newspapers and all those top people, whatever. Go back to some of my videos. I've shared some of those information with you guys. That's why I'm making this reference to it. Okay, so let me make sure the investigation. Okay, which one did I? The papers ByLine 54. So that was the one here that I started with. I went back because we have much bigger, more important, more pertinent things which are actually affecting our daily lives than some supposed injustice to upwards, like Tory corruption aid by Murdoch Press, which is making us poor. Our on waiting list, no housing, crumbling school. Well, they all part of that. They're all part of that. You want to ignore one without the other? That's fine. But they all are connected. There it is. We cover all those too. We can show how the right-wing press subvert parliament, the BBC and the palace while reaping the reward for colonialism. They are connected. Thank you. Thank you. That's the word that I was just saying. They're all connected. Thank you. Let me bookmark this. That's what I was saying. They all are connected. Okay, not interested. Okay, you want to be in the blind? That's fine. You want to elevate one without the other? That's fine. You're going to be on the same thing. Okay, you're going to be in the same kind of nonsense with no housing, no nothing. And then once election popped up, they're going to smear the headlines with racism. This is coming to get your place. This is gonna take over the government and all of that. And you're gonna be on the same page. Don't have money to pay your bills. You're gonna be in the freezing winter kind of thing. So be on the blind. Like I've said, they're all connected. And this is why when I started talking about Meghan and on my channel, and now that some of you were saying, oh, you're not on Twitter, but I was looking, some of these are things I would have probably kept to myself, but, show you mostly about the Sussexes, right? Only the Sussexes thing. But when you look deeper, you start seeing the dots everywhere. And then you were like, what the hell? You have to connect all of them. They all are one. Okay, like I've said with the recycle system in the UK, you have the government, okay, putting people in poverty, and then you have the institution, the royal family, pretending, okay, they're helping the poor. They have hundreds and hundreds of charities.
So you're affiliated, as many in your family are, with many, many charities. You're patrons of certain organizations. I read that you have about 15 charities that you're affiliated with. Your brother and sister-in-law have about 35, but that's less than some other members of your family, right? You all are doing it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So how do you focus?
So,
and tell us, that by contrast, how many charities might other royals be affiliated with in different generations?
Hundreds.
Why do you need all those charities? If the government was doing such a good job, you should be able to get a good paying job to take care of yourself. You will not rely on charity. Okay, so they're purposely putting people in poverty.
Look at the fact that just on energy alone, on a conservative estimate within 1 year, we're talking £1,300 a year going up in bills. We're going to have about 10 million people in fuel poverty. We have a real absolute, not relative poverty issue going to come in the UK, with food banks oversubscribed, with debt crisis agencies do not have any tools. And I need to say, with the Chancellor coming on in a moment, if you forgive me, as the money-saving expert who's been known for this, I am virtually out of tools to help people now.
So the royal family could still be in existence to pretend to help you. Meanwhile, the government is hiding behind the institution, the royal family, to continue to do their dirty work in the background. When you see the royal family traveling different places, it's not just what you see on the cameras, on the pictures. It's what is not being said in the public. It's what's being said in the background. Okay, because they are not the royal family. They don't need to check in with security or all of that. Okay, it's what they're doing in the background. What information are they carrying from one government to the next? Okay, when you hear they're gonna go to, where's that, Kenya, I think. Okay, they're saying they don't need them. And then you hear, okay, they're gonna hear this, they're gonna hear that, but are they at a position to make a difference? No, It's a government. So what the hell are they going there for? And this aspect, I don't know which video I had it. It's in one of my videos. I have a video that explains that. So they all are connected. You cannot look at one without the other. And not only do you have with the recycle system in the UK, and then you have the tabloid to help blind you. Okay, while the two other branches, which is the government and the royal family, continue to mess up with their nonsense with you. Okay, they doing that thing, what needs to keep them in existence, but the tabloid is blinding you from seeing what the government and the royal family is doing. Okay, this is the recycle system that I see in the UK. Okay, so there's this here, not interested in the palace. Okay, fine, but they're taking millions of your taxpayers' money. Okay, they don't affect policy. I understand that, but they're still taking your taxpayers' money. Okay, your Megxit scoop, other shit. Okay, if you think so, but that's the truth. The Sussexes have no bearing on British lives. Well, when you go into those charities, there's Archewell, who's still helping some sort of charities over there. They don't come public to tell you, but I'm sure there's some connection still with charities over there.
What I want to make clear is we're not walking away, and we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible. I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life.
Irrelevant to me. Well, thank God you don't need charities. That's good for you. Tabloid father. Okay. Liar, bullying, troll, abuser. Go address the voices in your head making you hear things, despicable things, jealous haters, vile bigot. Okay, so there's all of this. This is definitely a troll who pretend that none of the thing that is happening. Each of the thing that he said, I explained to you in my understanding what's going on. All right, so let's go to the next tweet. Oh my Lord. I'm already 40-something minutes. I'm just on the first few one. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Next tweet. Okay, so that's that. I went over this. It was a retweet, so I went over that. So let's go to the next tweet. So now I'm into William. Okay, so let's see here. So it started up here. So that's a thread. And I bookmarked this. If Will can fake statements from his brother to make himself look good, what other evidence is he capable of faking, and how long has he been faking things like this? If this man is going to be king one day, these questions are more important than whether or not Meghan wears a coat. Okay, I think she's making reference to when they put out the statement where they put Harry's name on it, but in the documentary, Harry was saying he never signed anything. He never agreed to any of this stuff. Okay, so let's go back up here. Okay, Will was accused by several sources of bullying Harry and Meghan out of the royal family, and he responded by forging, there it is, there's the thing here, by forging Harry's name to a statement his team sent to various media houses. We don't talk enough about the implication of this fabrication and what it reveals about William tactics. Charles better watch out. Okay, so there's this here. Prince William bullied Harry and Meghan out of royal family, Andrew Morton book says. Okay, Tom Sykes, and there's all this information. That was back in 2021. Okay, CNN, Prince William and Harry have denied a UK newspaper story alleging that a rift in the royal family was caused by William's bullying attitude. There's the part here. Okay, Prince William and Harry. There's the part here. Harry never signed about that. Okay?
They had to believe that it was more about us and maybe the issues that we had. They saw what they wanted to see. The saddest part of it was this wedge created between myself and my brother so that he's now on the institution side. And I get, part of that I understand, right? That's his inheritance. So to some extent, it's already ingrained in him that part of his responsibility is the survivability and the continuation of this institution.
There's been an unbelievably sad breakdown between the brothers.
They always used to be in step, and they're clearly out of step now.
That day, a story that came out saying that part of the reason why Meghan and I were leaving was because William had bullied us out. And once I got in the car after the meeting, I was told about a joint statement that had been put out in my name and my brother's name, squashing the story about him bullying us out of the family.
A sign of public unity from the brothers, who issued a joint statement calling the report false, offensive, and potentially harmful.
I couldn't believe it. No one had asked me. No one had asked me permission to put my name to a statement like that. And I rang Em and I told her, and she burst into floods of tears, because within 4 hours they were happy to lie to protect my brother, and yet for 3 years they were never willing to tell the truth to protect us.
Suddenly what clicked in my head was, it's never going to stop. Every rumor, every negative thing, every lie, everything that I knew wasn't true and that the palace knew wasn't true and internally they knew wasn't true, that was just being allowed to fester.
I don't know who knew. I know that the family and the staff knew.
And a joint statement sent to CNN, spokespeople for the Duke of Sussex and Duke of Cambridge said, quote, despite clear denial of false story ran in a UK newspaper today, speculation about the relationship between the Duke of Sussex and the Duke of Cambridge. I wish I could read more. So there's that. This is the part that I retweeted, and it was a response to that. Or maybe it was a thread, continue with that. Okay, this one of the really serious moral problems. Forging the brother's signature under a paper that contradicts the previous day's press with the intention of erasing the bad press for the heir to the throne is a betrayal all levels. Okay, and if he could... Okay, because the thing is that with him, he have people around him. It always said he should be protected at all costs. So he feel the need to do whatever he wants because he's been doing that. And Harry always shut his mouth and just take it and move along. Okay, this is one of the really serious moral problems. Forging the brother's signature under a paper that contradicts the previous day's press with the intention of erasing the bad press for the heir to the throne is a betrayal on all levels. And if he could easily forge his brother's signature, you have to ask yourself, has it happened before? Okay, maybe not him, but other senior royal signatures being forged in official statements. I'm thinking of a particular piece of document. Okay, until you get free press and not Murdoch's or corrupt press barons, he will do what he wants. Okay, remember when he lied about not being able to do royal work on his rest day from being a rescue pilot, and the RAF said he could do as much work as he liked on his day off, as long as he said work didn't include piloting a helicopter. They lie all the time. Prince William has, as some might say, a passing acquaintance with the truth. A person with that kind of sketchy character should never be given a position of unchecked power. There is a lot we don't know about Angry Willie, and that is the reason we should fear that power keg. Alright, 100%. There's one response under that. Okay, I can see that. So let's go to the next tweet. There's more, but let's move on. Next tweet. Okay, EarthFlop. So it's about William. Who are they paying to say these things? What does this have to do with Hollywood? I thought this was about saving the planet, not celebrity or Hollywood. There's a laugh. Okay, Prince William's Earthshot initiative labeled games changing by a high-profile Hollywood A-lister. Oh, God. Right? Did you see that William is now saying that EarthFlop is a commercial venture? There's a rolling eye. What? I'm literally saying what too. Let's see here. Trying to copy Harry, William, and Kate want to be half in and half out so bad. Okay, watch, they will buy a place in the US soon. Okay, I'm gonna bookmark this tweet. You never know. They put down Meghan and Harry for being too Hollywood, but all the time Harry's brother was craving Harry and Meghan's connection. Same blueprint. They see what you have, they want it. What they do, they mark it, they make it seem like it's mediocre, and then they copy it. Okay, notice that the Hollywood A-listers is not named, does not exist. Okay, did they name the A-lister? Oh my goodness. Okay, I thought being anything remotely Hollywood, anything was such a huge insult. No, not when it comes to Yuvo. What's Yuvo? Okay, if royals are so important, aspirational, and influential, how come they don't work with other royals to promote their project? Why are they always using athletes and celebrities for promotion? Interesting. The GBN is one of the most useless air gossips made up of lies just to have something to say. Okay, William is surrounded by the yes people who are afraid to tell him he's a public joke. His PR team has to find people with positive reputation they can cajole into publicly praising him for being a royal. Those people will probably get easier access to British investment. Anti-Americanism, they said. Okay, why did they just name the A-listers? It was probably Mickey Mouse. And I thought they were above celebrity. Yep. They literally equate Hollywood to the lowest form of existence whenever they refer to Meghan as an actress. So why do they care so much about the opinions of a celebrity? That's what I'm saying. Alright, there's more comment, but let's move on. Next tweet. Okay, so there's this here, more about Prince William. Prince William has proven himself to be a toad. No real prince will try to destroy his brother and his brother's family. This is unimaginable. This is absolutely unimaginable for him to go to that level. Okay? But it is what it is. Okay? Exploding Brexit, Wootton, and a cash for leaks scandal split the monarchy. The first detailed edition of ByLine Times monthly newspaper revealed the world exclusive story about why Prince Harry and Meghan really left the royal family. October 25th. By Dan Evans and Tom Latchen. Okay? So I read this in another video. Alright, for the sake of this video, let's read it. The palace investigation cleared the aide after he denied being the source of the Archie and Brexit information and told case that neither he nor his partner were friends with Wootton, although he admitted to knowing the journalist. ByLine Time has uncovered new photographic evidence of Wootton, the aide, and the aide's partner at a lavish private birthday party Wootton threw for his close friends in a £1,675 a night hotel suite. Prince Harry sent formal letters before action detailing the claims about Wootton and the palace to News UK. Sir Clive Alderton, today King Charles and Queen Camilla's right-hand man, and the former Lord Chamberlain, Lord Peel, put pressure on Harry to alter the legal papers. When the aide's name was not removed from the legal letters, the Sussexes were caught adrift financially and left unable to protect themselves despite having a security threat level equal to the monarch. The royal household had thought the threat of exposure will force Harry and Meghan to return to the UK, where their profile could be controlled, preventing them from eclipsing the future king. But it drove wedge through the royal family and set in train events leading to Prince Harry's book Spare, a string of high-profile commercial media deals, and ongoing bad blood in the British monarchy. Alright, so he's doing all of this, Charles that is, because Harry was overshadowing him, which now forces Harry, okay, you know, Charles removing security and all of that, because Harry needs security. So in order to get security, he needs to get a job. Okay, to get a job, you need money, right? You need the money from getting those jobs to pay for the security. So all of these things, the main thing was overshadowed, which lead Harry to even overshadow him even more, because action and reaction, this is what had happened with Harry. The father did something and Harry had to react. He needs security for his family. Harry had to get a job to pay for the security. And then by doing those high-profile jobs, put him on the spotlight and then overshadowed the father even more. So Charles never think logically. No one around him is telling him the right thing. Okay, so let's go to the next part. Okay, Prince Harry and Meghan were forced out of the Syndrome agreement to continue in public service from Canada when his father pulled the plug on funding. Okay, this is the part where I said in front of the Queen, the agreement was there, he's gonna get security and all of that. And then behind the Queen, okay, Charles did his unedible, remove the security. It followed news that a partner of a key aide to Prince William received £4,000 from the Sun allegedly for stories about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex when Wootton was executive editor. The payments came to light in anonymous whistleblower emails claiming to be from admin workers within the Murdoch newspaper publishing empire. They told her the payments had provoked panic at the Sun and claimed senior executive quietly brushed the matter under the carpet. The payments allegedly related to stories about Archie's nannying and godparent arrangement and Wootton's January 2020 breaking story about so-called Megxit. All this, Harry and Meghan thought they had good people around them. When they talk about certain things, probably the aides were there, and then things that were supposed to stay quiet within the circle, and then he went and sold it. And meanwhile, putting Harry and Meghan's life and Archie's life in danger. This is very, very crucial. And I think Harry and Meghan have learned now, when they're talking about really sensitive matters, they just have to, do it privately within them two only. People out of the room. Okay, the Met Police look into the allegation, leaking but could not go to the judge for a warrant to search royal staff property without knowing the identity of the whistleblower, because they don't want to they don't have the name. 2 internal royal investigations follow, one involving Simon Case, who is today the embodiment head of civil service, facing question over the government's response to the pandemic. All right. My goodness. He saw what his mother went through, but yet he's doing the same thing, even worse. This kid, he's not a kid anymore. This freaking idiot, my God. All right. There is something fundamental missing in him. He has no genuine empathy or compassion, not for his brother, father, or wife. Anytime he does humanitarian engagement, it always comes off fake. The smile never reaches the eyes. I mean, the thing is that he, from the time he was young, they never put him in check. Well, Princess Diana was. Okay, Princess Diana was putting him in check. But after the mom died, it's just running wild. No lie detected. Okay, a poisoned frog. Okay, angry, scared, corrupt cheater. Look at look at him. But anyway, let's go to the next one. All right, so here we got in one of the royal rats. Next tweet. I might have 2 videos. I have 2 more here. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, I have 2 more here, and after that one I'm gonna stop, and then these are other ones, and that will be the other video. Okay, after this one, let me put this after that one. That will be these 2. That will be my next one. I copy it now, and then I'll do a prayer. Okay, Maureen is clearly upset by recent developments and has started waffling on about when Prince Harry was a kid having fun. There's a rolling eye. Can someone check on him? So when was this? There's no date. So these are the ones I don't follow, but they took a screenshot of it, but there's no date. Okay, Duke of Beaufort's brother, after they had just witnessed Prince Harry throwing a succession of girls wearing their best dresses into a pool at a party, none had brought a change of clothes. What? They threw the girls in the pool? Oh my God. As the soaking girls were taken up to the house to borrow some clothes, my younger brother Johnson come up to me, imitating the voice of J.R. Ewing from the American soap Dallas. He said, quote, "We gotta be real careful that nothing happens to that boy's older brother. Real careful." You know what that remind me for some reason? In one of my videos on PYTE, there's one of what is it? I think it was the Queen's cousin or something like that, or nephews, one of those, who was sentenced, was it in jail or something like that? Did he rape the girl? I forgot if he raped her or something, and the girl had to run and get help or something like that. So that just reminded me. I don't know why that crossed my mind. I don't know. Alright, so there's this. The desperation is real. The way this family works, it was William throwing the girls in the pool. They just blame Harry. Really? Oh my God, that's an ad. There's this here. There's that. So that they've got nothing else. They've told every lie under the sun. Now they are starved and desperate. Richard, I smell BS. Do better, lad. Okay, yawn and sigh. It's a right of teenage passage for teens to throw their friends into the pool. No, what if you don't know? What if the person you throw doesn't know how to swim? Why would you do that? With their best dress too. Why do they think it's a good idea? Oh my God. That remind me, there was a time I was living in Harlem in New York. I was supposed to go to do something, and in the summer, what they do, they will open the what do you call the fire hydrant, and then just the young kids playing. Okay, and I told them to stop, right? And then as soon as they did stop, but as soon as I was passing by, and then they spray me with the water, I had to go back, blow dry my hair, and then do all sort of things. I was really pissed. After that, I never want to live in Harlem again. All right, that man is just broken. Too late. He's bald and boring. There's the laugh. Okay, so let's go to my next tweet, and I have one more after that. Oh, so there's him again. Maureen Maureen is hard to explain. There's the laugh. There's Richard Eden. Live to Lead. It's fascinating to see how ambitious Prince Harry has become. It's becoming increasingly clear that he and Meghan are determined to establish themselves as the new woke warriors across the water while denigrating the old ones back home. Okay, what year? Oh, back in 2022. All right, there it is. That's the date here, 2022. Okay, Meghan actually the oldest. That's V, who has a podcast, a YouTube channel. Meghan's actually the oldest out of the Fab Four, and Harry was actually the most ambitious of the brothers. Don't get upset that the old ones are stale and boring as all hell. Glad to know you'll be watching since the old ones don't pay your bills. Okay, so there's Maureen here. You don't know who pays my bills, so don't assume. This is how they know the squad knew. He forgot which account he was using. You don't know who pays my bills, so don't assume. That's the laugh here. You'll never meet my new friends. Sad. Yes, okay. Said, I remember that day. I really laughed. There's that. Okay, he was in such a rage he forgot to switch voices. The way I was gagged on that day. LOL, Maureen's coming out party. There's the laugh here. Oh snap. I should go drag him. I mean Maureen. LOL. If you know, you know. That's it. Alright, let me go to my last one for this video. There's this. Okay, so I saw this. This is Meredith video. 1 minute and 10 seconds. Sunday Snark is out now. So there's that here. Here's a snippet from the article about the British royal family and the cost of living crisis that nearly took me out. Okay, so she's making reference to that. 1 minute and 10 seconds. Does she have a YouTube channel? I think she does. And she's on TikTok. Definitely on TikTok. This is her TikTok thing. If you are on TikTok, go follow her. I don't plan on being on TikTok.
The nights are drawing in, the temperature's dropping, and the cost of living's rocketed up. So why not follow the royals with these simple money-saving hacks? This is so insulting. Listen to the people with billions of dollars from duchies and land holdings, offshore holdings, and money received from the government.
Yep.
Focus on how they save money in their castles. Starts off with, wealth doesn't have to mean extravagance. In what world is surviving a winter in a developed country an extravagance? This is the same type of thinking that gets us, well, poor people shouldn't buy iPhones, as if there is not a larger governmental societal problem here, which I don't know, perhaps could be helped with an infusion of cash. Not to mention the housing crisis, which obviously Prince William is going to fix in the next 5 years like he did Middle East peace. What about helping to create more affordable housing on all that land that you own? Instead of Poundberry, which if you've not read about Poundberry, Prince Charles's utopian experiment, it is gold. Struggling people don't need royal hacks. They need strong social safety nets and a government that cares about them. They don't need to turn off lights.
Like I was saying at the beginning with that byline thing, and that comment was saying they don't need the royal family and all of that. There she is. She's hitting the nails on the head here.
Need to make a living wage so that they can buy food and stay warm.
Thank you. The government, okay, putting people in poverty, and then you have the institution, the royal family, pretending, Okay, they're helping the poor. They have hundreds and hundreds of charities.
And tell us that by contrast, how many charities might other royals be affiliated with in different generations?
Hundreds.
Why do you need all those charities? If the government was doing such a good job, you should be able to get a good paying job to take care of yourself. You will not rely on charity. Okay, so they're purposely putting people in poverty. There it is. Exactly what I had said at the beginning. The recycle system. You have the government putting people in poverty, and then you have the royal family pretending to help them, and then you have the tabloid blinding them with all stupidity. Okay, so meanwhile the government and the royal family are stealing their money. Okay, so that's that. With a picture of Kate from 17 years ago. I don't get that part either. So that's that here. No, exactly 17 years ago. The British tab is nothing but a disgusting propaganda machine for the British royals. Imagine seeking to Charles, Will, Camilla, and Kate for money, spending tips, when they live in multi-taxpayers funded mansion and take 100 million of pounds from people. Charles and Camilla and William and Kate are hell. Meredith, I love how you infuse a perfect mix of humor and sarcasm with your blatantly honest roast of the UK royal family clan. Thank you. The British press must believe the UK people are stupid. I don't know, because when you think about it, when they keep on voting for the same group who maintain that status quo, so you have to wonder. Okay, could the Daily Mail get any more patronizing? To use one of the richest family in the UK to give advice on cost saving is really taking the piss. Okay, this Daily Mail reporting simply revolting. They are trolling the Brits, but that's okay. They love them, they protect them. God save the king while you starve. Exactly, that's the point. Okay, so I'm done. The next video will cover these 8 tweets and these 5. Okay, so this tweet. 13 tweet. Okay, that will be on the next video. So let's do a prayer. Prayer for, I don't know, what should we pray for? Prayer for there's prosperity and protection. This is probably what I did the last time. Prayer for let the blind see. These are the things I usually do. Prayer for the blind to see. Foot soldiers, should we say blind to, for the blind foot soldiers? Let's see. There's nothing for the blind. Okay, let's keep it that way. All right, let's see an image. Let's pick that one. Okay, the blind receive sight, the lame walk, the
leper are
cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, and the good news is preached to the poor. Matthew 11. Yes, but let's see here. Let's pick that one. Dear blind Jesus, you know everything, but promise that in your mercy you don't see my sin. Open my eyes of faith to see more spiritual things. Amen. Okay, so let's keep that one. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Look at this number of views in that video, 911. All right, so let me get ready for the next video. All right, so that's it for now.